What is up, everyone? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, the hot commodity Nxt, and today we are covering WWE NXT Homecoming live on September 16th, 2025 in Full Sail University. This is NXT's home. It was a really good episode. Honestly, it felt like a house show to me, but we'll dive into it. So, Homecoming opens up with an opening package looking back at the past of NXT, seeing the likes of Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ember Moon, Asuka, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch. We see all the top stars, Seth Rollins, everybody is there in the highlight reel. And to kick off NXT Homecoming, the game Triple H comes out, and Triple H talks about how I can't tell everyone how good it is to be back. He thanks the fans and he says that they created something special. They turned a whisper into an undeniable roar, and he wants to thank the fans for that. And that's when HBK Shawn Michaels comes out. And HBK says, I know you're busy making $1 billion deals, but myself and NXT are ready to steer this ship into the future. And then Triple H says, well, what would you say if I wanted to come back? And Shawn Michaels is like, then we would have an issue. And then General Manager William Regal, well, former General Manager William Regal comes out, and Regal says, gentlemen, I know how to settle this. War Games. And then WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss come out, and Charlotte says, it doesn't matter who's in charge. The women have always ran the WWE, and they're the backbone of NXT. So a lot to unpack here in this opening thing. A lot of fans are speculating, oh, is Shawn Michaels going to fight Triple H? Is there going to be a fight between them? And in my honest opinion, I don't think so. I think this is just a fun way for William Regal to get out his famous catchphrase of War Games. I do not think Shawn Michaels and Triple H are going to be involved in any kind of fight. It was also interesting to see Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss come out during this point, and people online were talking about how Triple H made a face as Charlotte when she mentioned how NXT was the backbone, as if Triple H was upset with that. I don't know. Maybe they're going to do some kind of WWE versus NXT rivalry down the line, but in my opinion, right now, I honestly think that it was just a fun opening segment for Homecoming. So Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are going to defend the women's tag team championships against Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley. And this was a decent tag match here. Charlotte lands a big boot to Izzy. Izzy lands a flying code breaker to Flair to get a 2 count. But Bliss lands a Sister Abigail to Tatum Paxley. And Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss retain the women's tag team titles. Fun match here for the women's tag team champions and the Culling here. Alexa Bliss and Tatum Paxley both have similar gimmicks, similar to Charlotte Flair and Izzy Dame. They're both tall, blonde-haired, athletic women. Great opener match. We knew the women's tag team champions were going to retain here, but good to see Charlotte and Bliss back in NXT. We then see Zaria and NXT Women's North American Champion Ruca arguing backstage about their incident last week. Shayna Baszler appears, and I thought Shayla was gone from WWE, but maybe not. Shayna tells them to fix their issues and, apologize to one another. And it looks like things are going to be okay between the two, but that's not going to happen. There's going to be an issue between Zaria and Ruca. Great to see Shayna Baszler on my screen, though. I love Shayna. And next we get DIY taking on Carmelo Hayes and the TNA World Champion Trick Williams. And it was fun to see Tommaso Ciampa come out with the No One Will Survive theme song. I have done many exercises and walks going to the gym, and that has been my anthem. So No One Will Survive, let's go. And then you also get Johnny Gargano's famous old theme song as well. Got to Give Them Hell. It was a good song too. So it was great to see them come back. I didn't understand why Tommaso Ciampa was wearing that weird makeup on his face. It was almost like he was trying to go like camo, but it was weird. Fun to see Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams team up again. We saw some interesting moments in the match where it looked like Carmelo and Trick were going to fight with each other. Gargano dives on the Trick onto the floor over the desk. Carmelo hits the first 48 to Gargano, but DIY land a meet in the middle to Carmelo Hayes, but Williams breaks that up. And then in a surprise, The Miz shows up and lands a skull-crushing finale to Johnny Gargano on the floor. And then Carmelo Hayes lands nothing but net, Hayes and Williams get the win with some help from The Miz. This was a decent tag match. Honestly, it wasn't given much, though. I thought it could have been longer and better. Decent stuff between DIY, though. Great seeing them as a tag team in NXT. I like them better in NXT for some reason. The atmosphere, they're more indie. They're more underground, I feel like. And Carmelo Hayes, good to see him teaming with Trick Williams, but basic match. We then see Javon Evans and Josh Briggs brawl backstage, and that's when WWE US Champion Sami Zayn tells Javon Evans he's got a big future and not to worry about Josh Briggs. Again, we're seeing all the stars from NXT past come up to Homecoming. Good to see Sami Zayn there. And Javon Evans definitely reminds me of Sami with his high flying ability. Next, we have NXT North American Champion All Ego Ethan Page defending against Tyler Breeze. I mean, come on, these two guys are exactly same type of gimmick, except for Tyler Breeze has a sexy cell phone, which I really like. Ego hits a confidence breaker and Ego's edge for a 2 count. Tyler rams Ego's legs into the ring post and applies a figure 4 across the post, but Ego lands a twisted grin from the top rope, and Ethan Page retains the NXT North American Championship. Good match here between two guys who have similar styles and similar gimmicks. Oh, we knew Ego, again, all these guys defending the titles, we knew they were going to retain here. Great to see Tyler Breeze back. We know he's the producer in WWE, but he is a great wrestler all in all. We then see Damian Priest talking to Tavion Heights backstage, and cool to see Damian Priest talking about winning the North American title, then celebrating in the hot tub. I remember that moment. Good stuff. We then get the Grayson Waller effect with Ricky Saints and NXT World Champion Oba Femi, and these two men are set to fight at NXT No Mercy. But then TNA Champion Trick Williams comes out and trash talks both men, and Waller says, "Why don't we have Trick Williams versus Oba Femi next week, winner takes all, and the winner will go on to defend against Ricky Saints at No Mercy." So that is interesting. They're playing up the fact that TNA wrestlers are not happy about this. Are we going to get a TNA invasion? Who knows? But it's set for next week. Oba Femi defending the NXT title against Trick Williams. Trick Williams' TNA title is on the line as well. We then see Bobby Roode talking to Joe Hendry, and Bobby Roode gets zero reaction, which is really sad because he was famous back in TNA, did a lot of good stuff, was a former NXT World Champion. So the fact that no one recognized him or cheered for him, I don't know. That was just terrible. Lexis King then comes out and trash talks Myles Bourne for being blind, and he says that next week they're going to have a lights out match. And that's when Finn Balor comes out, and Balor and Myles Bourne take out Lexis King here, and Balor lands a coup de grace. Great to see WWE World Tag Team Champion Finn Balor back in NXT. He was a former NXT World Champion as well, so good stuff here seeing Finn Balor help out Myles Bourne. In our main event, we have Fatal Influence taking on Lyra Valkyria, Stephanie Vaquer, and Rhea Ripley. And this is a good 6-woman tag match. Stephanie lands a flying crossbody to Jasmine Nix early on. And then the moment that everyone popped for, we saw Stephanie and Rhea do the double devil's kiss, which was awesome. JC Jane goes to leave, but JC's opponent for No Mercy, Lola Vice, stops her and tosses her back into the ring. Rhea lands a riptide, and the WWE women superstars get the victory here. Great match. It was great to see Stephanie back here and Rhea land the devil's kiss at the same time. Great stuff. It was funny seeing Booker T go hard. Everyone was going hard with Booker. All in all, this is a good show. A lot of action. Great to see former NXT superstars. But let me know what you think in the comments. What did you think of Homecoming? Make sure you subscribe, like, hit that notification bell. And until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.